300 years ago, rifts suddenly appeared all over the world, from which hordes of monsters rushed into the world. But in the midst of this catastrophe, humanity was given the opportunity to awaken. Lucky ones with good skills can become stronger by killing monsters and exploring secret worlds. And today an awakening ceremony is taking place among school children. The next person invited onto the stage is Larry Luo. He is undoubtedly the most special of all the students in the awakened school. After so many years of living on Earth, he is about to take to the skies. He will start a new life pretending to be someone he is not. It must be so bright, this fighting profession. I can't believe that this simpleton Larry Luo will get a rare profession. Today will be a major milestone in his rise to power. Profession Healer, Level D. He will be an excellent support for combat classes. A healer is someone who can stop bleeding and heal wounds. You could say they are a nurse. So, a nurse guy appeared in their group. Most people don't even have a profession. A nurse is the most important role for the team. One day, when his help is needed, he will make sure they bleed to death. The healer is a lifesaver when you are seriously injured. You can't joke about him. There are different levels. Larry's is the weakest, Level D. From now on, Kim will take him with her on all missions. So they will unite and become sandbags for the monsters. Renee Lee's awakening was successful. Her profession is Snow Queen Spirit, Level A. As expected from the beauty and excellent student Renee Lee, this is incredible and so beautiful. With such a profession, Renee will be able to choose any college in the country. Wang Dong and John Ning's awakening failed. Jamie Lin's awakening was successful. Profession Culinary Master. Everything is in the hands of fate. First, you need to check your attributes panel. Larry has a skin explosion skill. He's never heard of it. This is a modified skill that causes the target's skin to burst. Healing heals wounds and removes pain, but this explosion of skin causes wounds. Larry doesn't have the skill points to learn anything new. If his original base skill was healing, that means he can change his skills. Larry buys a skill book. Kim almost forgot that he was also damn rich. His aunt was a pro. This is where the professional awakening ends. Those who have not yet awakened need not despair. They still have a long way to go. Larry has urgent matters to attend to. He ordered 2 new skills. Everything needs to be checked urgently. He might be upset about waking up as a healer. Larry is learning new skills. Blood Heat, a skill that increases the target's body temperature. Pain Amplification doubles the pain the target experiences. Now Larry will see who dares to treat him like a regular healer. He was added to the group chat. The group also includes Renee and Kim. In 10 days, the students will go to the testing tower for the exam. During these 10 days, the school will organize training for combat professions. Larry will show them who is mediocre here. They will experience it for themselves. Renee looks upset. Perhaps she's worried about Larry. She says that this is not true. Renee will get into a top university, but Larry is clearly not up to it. If she wants to confess, it's better to do it now. Yan Haran heard that she also awakened an A-rank profession. He wants to know which university she is entering. Ian received the profession of a swordsman mage. It's Renee's personal business which university she goes to. Yan knows that she wrote a love letter to Larry Luo, and he is only a D-rank healer. If Renee still does not give in, Yan will be ruthless. The level of demonic rats is low, suitable for beginners to practice. Low-level monsters close to home, Larry will try his skills here. An elite team of 5 is looking for new members. Apparently Larry has recently awakened. It is quite dangerous here. The girl offers to join forces with her. Larry will try to cope alone for now. Casey. Most newbies are excited before their first fight, but he is calm, which is a rarity. Crane found the coordinates of a special monster. Casey is confident that they will get something out of it. This demonic rat drank half of the fighter's blood in one bite. The attributes of these rats are twice as high as those of a professional of the same level, which is why they gather in groups. Larry killed the demon rat and received 60 experience points. Regular fighters have a hard time killing this rat. Larry gains a lot of experience because he hunts alone. Those with a high-level profession gain more points as they level up. Larry is a D-rank healer, so he does not receive this bonus. There's one more skill left to try. It doesn't work. Increased pain doubles the pain, but if the target isn't in pain, there's nothing to double. However, she is still powerless against the skin explosion. I'll have to use this skill on the boss. Larry received 880 experience points. He has to discover new skills. Lysis of influenza virus. Instant outbreak of acute gastroenteritis. These are good skills. Any skill can be tried on animals first. The leader of the pack, a giant demonic rat, appears. This is the boss. It looks like Larry killed too many monsters, and he turned his attention to him. Larry uses skin explosion. The boss was able to withstand this blow, but Larry will give him something else. If this continues, we'll be able to just follow him around and loot his corpses. The demonic rat boss has already been killed. All the monsters in the area belong to the Star Ocean Alliance, and if Larry doesn't get out, they'll kill him too. Larry gave in to them. This boss is not that easy to deal with. One of the hunters is more worried about that guy than about the monster. It seems like he's up to something. Unless he wants to die, no one will dare to use or fool them. One of the hunters starts to have a stomach ache. He can't hold back any longer. The same thing happens to the rest. Terrible stench. Maybe it's a boss skill. This stench is distracting. It's time for them to finish. Larry can help. In the end, it is he who will reap the benefits. He received equipment and a skill book. This ring increases the speed of energy recovery. Now I need to try out this skill book. Black Plague Burst. A skill that allows you to quickly spread the plague. One of the most terrible epidemics in history was the plague epidemic, which claimed the lives of 30 million people. Of course, this plague is not so terrible, but it cannot be underestimated. Suddenly something like a crack appears in space. But this is not a crack, but a newborn secret kingdom. These realms disappear after one playthrough, close upon entry, and do not reopen until the person surrenders, dies, or clears the realm. There are 4 difficulty levels: normal, hard, nightmare, and hell. The level of this kingdom is complex. If Larry leaves now to look for help, someone else might come in here. He must fight for it. The mission is going quite well. Casey has already deposited $10,000 into their cards. This is the entrance to a secret world, and it looks like it just appeared. The level limit is 15. If their level is above 30, they will not be able to enter, but they will be able to sell it. The price of such a kingdom on the black market is 3 million. Since they named a price, Casey buys it. But she doesn't know if there's anyone there. There are only low-level newbies here. Going there is a death sentence for them. This cave was originally a sacred place for the lizards to live and worship. But 100 years ago, they were corrupted by magic and turned into monsters. The lizards, infected with magic, became very bloodthirsty and cruel. The attributes are almost half those of the demonic rat's chieftain. The lizards notice Larry. He uses his skills. The smell is simply killer. There is no ventilation in the cave. Larry cannot use his usual skill, otherwise he will die from the stench before he manages to kill all the monsters. In that case, you'll have to try a new skill. This is a glowing kitten that Renee found in the forest. He is not only cute, but he can also heal. Casey found a suitable secret world for Renee. The team members are carefully selected bodyguards. If someone from another family sees them, they will be in trouble. There is someone inside, they can't get in. It's probably a newbie who got there by mistake. Larry received 1,740 experience points and the skin of an enchanted lizard. The horror of the Black Death lies in its powerful infection and instantaneous explosion. In a cave, the plague can spread very quickly. Larry can't just use his skills, there are too many lizards. He notices a lizard that is different from the others. This is an albino lizard, the perfect target. The lizard suddenly froze, just a slight tremor. Larry feels like the virus has spread everywhere. Even if the lizards see that they are covered in spots, they think it is just dirt. It's time to start the Black Death outbreak. Larry climbed 6 levels in just a few minutes. This is worthy of a secret kingdom where no human foot has ever set foot. There are still survivors left. This is a scarlet lizard priest who, over many years of evolution, awakened wisdom within himself and began to guard the scarlet altar. This is the boss, and he is about to use a healing skill. Larry will kill him while he has the chance. The priest explodes. We need to deal with the rest as quickly as possible, and then destroy the altar. All the survivors suddenly rush towards the boss's corpse. They devour it and merge with each other. The priest's corpse has turned into a mutant, a berserker, and in a state of intense anger he devours the corpses of lizards. Now Larry is very exhausted and cannot use his skills. Berserker attacks. Larry needs to restore his magical energy, but the berserker is not going to leave him alone. He managed to take only a small sip. Berserker uses Bloodweave. Larry releases the Black Death. Berserker dodges, but he still wasn't the main target. Larry is spreading Black Death around. Even though his health is almost at 0, his magical energy is full. Even if he drank the elixir to recover, none of his skills were capable of killing the Berserker. If he thinks he has any chance of winning, he should first turn around. While he was fighting, Larry used Black Death. There is an incredible amount of virus in these bodies now. It will be a real feast for him if they explode. Larry uses Skin Explosion. No matter how strong a berserker is, he is nothing more than a mutant. The virus that gets into his body will be enough to kill him. Larry killed the mutated lizard priest. His level was increased to 20. Items were received. The meteor hammer is crap, but the other stuff looks good. Larry also developed confusion and Alzheimer's disease. It feels like his skills are becoming more and more ridiculous. There are still a lot of things that dropped from monsters. Larry can sell them. At least these lizard warriors are actually suited for physical labor. Looks like they found something worthwhile. This is a demonized rune. It can be used to turn the owner into a demon. The level is not high enough to use. Mission accomplished. Larry received the Cross of Resurrection, a contract with the River Styx, an exclusive certificate for a change of occupation, and the title of Discoverer. Casey, Renee, and the bodyguards wait for the secret kingdom to open. Someone is leaving. He probably failed the mission and decided to return. This is the same guy Casey met. All his comrades must have died. Larry doesn't have a team, he's on his own. Renee is too naive. This guy said he hunted alone. It's only Renee's business who she wants to be friends with. Something is wrong. The secret kingdom is disappearing. So Larry really did clear it out single-handedly. Those people are just bodyguards. They don't believe Larry. But Renee is sure that he is not lying. She asks if she can team up with Larry for a group exam. The exam is divided into team and individual parts. Larry is only a D-rank healer. Renee says she feels more comfortable on a team with people she knows. Larry agrees. On his way home, he sold everything he didn't need and made a ton of money. What he earned this week is more than his mother's salary for the whole year. Larry is finally back. These things are for Kim. Larry went to the Rat Glade to improve his level. He suggests teaming up for the exam. The young master from the Dongfan family has achieved an S-rank profession. Teaming up with him will guarantee Renee first place, but she wants to team up with some idiot. Larry is her friend, and he cleared out the secret kingdom single-handedly. He is a D-rank healer. Such a one could not clear the secret kingdom. What Renee says is true. Casey saw it herself. The day of the exam arrives. Today, more than 20,000 professionals will enter the testing tower to be assessed. Everyone knows that there are about 1,000 such towers in the world, each with 999 floors. Ellie Stone is ranked first among the best professionals among her students, followed by Dung Dongfan and Jack Lance in third place. Larry said he found a third teammate. There were so many people here. Renee had a hard time finding Larry. Renee rejected Dan. Yan Haran was brought to him as he requested. Dan's invitation was declined and he urgently needed a new person to join the team. Dan heard that there was a professional at his school named Renee Lee. She declined his invitation, which speaks volumes about her being a narrow-minded person. There's only one girl worthy of his attention, and that's Ellie Stone. First place will definitely belong to her. All she wants is the most wonderful relic in the world. Rumor has it that each level of the tower contains an independent world. Finally, Larry can show off his skills. More and more floors in the test tower are lit up. Some team has already reached the 7th floor. As expected, the highest level teams have already advanced far. I can't believe Kim Zhen's team is on the 3rd floor. One of his comrades just sits and watches. Larry is a healer, but he has no healing abilities. He can only give Renee a potion to restore energy. With these two losers, she got through 10 floors using only her strength. If even the guy who cleared the secret kingdom is a loser, then most of the participants are wasting their time. The higher you go, the stronger the monsters. Renee's team was in 3rd place, and now they have dropped down. It was expected. This may be her limit. Renee is amazing. Larry will lead the way from here. He single-handedly cleared out the secret kingdom. If Kim doesn't believe him, let him look at his dashboard. He is level 26. Larry asks what they think the monster will do if it is defrosted. If the monsters realize that the enemy is superior to them, they return for reinforcements. This monster is very fast and he is angry as hell. A whole crowd of monsters appears. They cleared out everything around. There are people there. They brought monsters on purpose to slow down the other participants. Larry activates the summoning of the lizard warriors. This is a very strong team. It looks like the plan to use monsters to get rid of the competition has failed. Suddenly there were even more monsters. This means that this floor is the limit for this team. We need to find the entrance to the next level. It's time to make your move. Larry activates the Black Death explosion. Their team killed the Goblin Bears and received 200,765 experience points. But this is not enough. Larry wants this entire floor to be covered in death. The amount of experience is still increasing. Goblin Bears often hunt poisonous monsters, so Larry's ability isn't just poisonous. It allows you to infect a target with a virus. This dense cloud of viruses will envelop the entire floor. Larry controls him, otherwise they wouldn't be standing on their feet anymore. But for those who are not with him, the situation is different. They will be at the entrance to the next floor in 10 minutes. A huge cloud covers them. They can't breathe. We need to get out of here. Last year, the city's record was 26 floors, but this time they have 4 participants with S-rank professions. In recent years, monsters have become increasingly ferocious, which may be why new professionals are given rare relics as a first-place prize. In fact, this relic is damaged, so it is useless for higher-level professionals. Something is wrong with the testing tower. A huge cloud of toxic fog has appeared on the 19th floor. It looks like all these participants came from the 19th floor. It seems they were poisoned. It's not poisoning. It's more like an illness. They are infected with some kind of virus. Judging by the stains, it's a plague. But the boss that can spread it is on the 50th floor. The participant saw only a toxic cloud. Then he developed a headache and chest pain. Fortunately, the plague's area of effect is limited, and many participants have already risen above the 20th floor. Dan's preparation is truly amazing. He is ready to meet monsters of any level. Don't underestimate the other participants. There might be someone of a similar level here, for example, Ellie Stone. It's a shame that's all she can do. The number of monsters is huge. It is impossible to kill them all. May no longer has powers, but thanks to her, Ellie is able to retain as much of her strength as possible. There's one thing May has to apologize for. She smeared their bodies with jade bee honey, a favorite delicacy of poisonous monsters. May did this out of envy. Ellie was born with good skin, received an S-rank profession, and is constantly surrounded by guys. Dan promised that if May helps him win, he will marry her. She asks Ellie to sacrifice herself at least once. Dan is just using May. He would never lie to her. Ellie is jealous. There's no need to break through this floor. They're good enough for tomorrow's individual trials. And when Ellie passes them, she will regain first place. They were able to clear the floor of monsters and gained a lot of experience. Although Larry has excellent skills, there must be a limit. The monsters on the lower floors are weaker. Renee is right. Besides, his skills are not very useful in a large open space with good air circulation. And other participants can also be infected. This might offend them. If you don't fight, you die, and the lives of professionals are always in danger. It's time to take it to the next level. Kim throws stones. He did it to attract monsters. Now he is running away from them. He brought monsters. As long as Renee is here, no one will touch Larry. He releases the Black Death. The teams of Dung Dongfang and Jack Lance reach the 27th floor, breaking the record. Ellie Stone is much stronger. Perhaps there was an accident. The Dragon Priest, Master Endija, was also a simple man. He was attacked many times due to envy, but he still became the best. Something bad is about to happen. The toxic clouds have reappeared and continue to rise. In just 4 hours, they reach the 24th floor. Some of the best students are located above. Even if there is a strong boss, it is unlikely that he was followed from the 19th floor to the 25th. It was probably done by a person. Some professionals are either unwilling to accept a failed awakening or strive for a more powerful force. In their understanding, the end of the world has already come, and worshipping the demon is the only way to preserve civilization. These people are called Fallen. If they were involved in this, they would have killed everyone involved. You cannot enter the tower during the exam. If Kim relied only on himself, he wouldn't have reached level 20 even in 2 months. Larry is level 30 and has 4 skills to learn. Sexual attraction can cause the target to become overwhelmed and desire to copulate with a creature of any gender. The other skills are no less amazing: genital warts, gonorrhea, syphilis. It's too cruel, but of course, Larry has to study them all. He smiles like a pervert. It's better for them not to know what he's doing. Larry can complete a quest to obtain a second profession. He needs to choose one of the following hidden professions. After choosing one, the other will disappear. The professions are Dark Lord and Evil Doctor. Larry has never heard of such. There is a feeling that the profession of a Dark Lord is not very suitable for his skills. Moreover, he will have to change his appearance and become like a skeleton. By choosing the profession of an Evil Doctor, Larry will receive the only skill: irresponsible surgery. The doctor does not bear any responsibility for the outcome of the operation. Larry chooses this profession. You need to kill the alien boss and get his heart. From this moment on, their paths diverge. Larry needs to kill the alien boss. It's too dangerous to go after him alone. This is too big a goal for 3 people, and Larry won't be able to take care of everyone. Without him, they would have stopped on the 19th floor. Renee gives Larry a one-time use item that can help him survive a deadly attack. Larry can't accept this. He must. His safety is very important to Renee. This is too expensive a gift. Perhaps it should be returned. Instead of ordinary monsters, they encountered level 35 hellhounds. The nearest entrance to the 28th floor is next to the lava lake. Jack will clear the way. There's a lava lake right there. Here, a monster rises from the lava. This is the boss of the 27th floor, the King of Hell. He came out from behind Dan the Dragon. If he eats him, he will be able to evolve. Renee touched Larry's hand, her heart beating very fast. Kim happened to look in Larry's desk drawer, and there was a love letter from Renee. He didn't answer her. She thought he didn't even look at the letter. Dongfang's team also began to lose its fighters. Ian asks Renee if she's okay. Kim tells him to get lost and not bother Larry's girlfriend. If John continues to behave like this, she will be an example of measure. Larry is just a D-rank piece of shit, and Kim, a C-rank piece of trash, doesn't dare look down on Ian. Let him open his dog eyes and look carefully. Kim shows Ian Larry's level. Yana wants to see the deputy city security officer. He had only seen these people on TV, and they were all big shots. Jan is asked if he noticed any anomalies in the tower. The Hellhound King, who was supposed to be sleeping, suddenly woke up. The Black Death suddenly stopped on the 26th floor. The teams of Dan Dongfan and Jack Lance, as well as one other participant, reached the 27th floor. This member's name is Larry Luo, and he is a D-rank healer. He's definitely cheating. Something needs to be done. The Tower of Trials is a miracle sent by God. Even if you play unfairly, the most you can do is prepare a few items in advance. Looks like this Larry Luo needs some serious research. Casey calls Renee. She guessed that the Black Death was Larry's skill. Sooner or later, it will become known who the culprit is. Many infected students are from influential families. If Casey brought it up, it means she has a plan. She tells Renee what needs to be done. There is no need to tell your father about this. He is a fool. Renee will do it for Larry. A bunch of dogs are having a good time. The sex drive skill is really powerful. The Hellhound King appears. He looks wounded. Someone must have fought off his attack. Alzheimer's disease can cause the target to forget or confuse their skills. Larry has something else. Something is wrong. The boss is going berserk. He pretended to be angry and ran away. Larry attacks the boss. Confusion may cause the target to unknowingly attack surrounding targets. The boss explodes. Larry killed the Hellhound King and leveled up to 31. He received a magic crystal, a flame reflector, and a flaming blade. There are 2 hours left until the end of the exam. You need to complete a mission to change your profession. May Steele disappeared after leaving the testing tower. Ellie orders her parents to be removed from their positions and her family to be deprived of financial resources, and she must leave Binhan in 3 days. Currently, on the 28th floor, in addition to Dung Dong Fan, there is D-rank healer Larry Luo. It seems like poisonous fog might be one of his abilities. If it's just a small cloud of fog with viruses, then it's not that much. That healer reached the 28th floor alone. Most likely he used special items. Larry didn't cheat. At this rate, he will be able to surpass the students of Imperial College and become a national champion. The man who set the record of 29 floors in the Imperial capital is a very famous person. His name is John Mason. He is a necromancer from Binhan. Several years ago, a serious incident occurred that resulted in John's family being almost wiped out, and the surviving family members were forced to leave the city. With Larry's potential, he has a chance to win the Wonder of the World award. The teacher can't believe that Renee and Kim have reached the 26th floor. A huge number of people are interested in them. They should be careful. Dan didn't expect the monsters on the 28th floor to be so difficult to deal with. His dragon was almost killed. He vowed to surpass John Mason and prove to the world that the Dongfan family was number one. He couldn't stop here. The Harpies found him. However, something distracts them. They seem to have spotted someone else, but Dan should be the only one on the 28th floor. Harpies and bloodthirsty willows fight each other, but their battle looks somehow wrong. If you look closely, it looks more like an orgy. This is an exam participant. Perhaps it was his doing. Intersexual relationships are cool, but interspecies ones are even cooler. He looks like a healer, but healers don't have control abilities. Dan can't let him go any further. He will be the winner, no matter what it takes. The temperature in the icy lake can reach 100 degrees below zero. Larry is receiving penicillin protection against viruses and is no longer feeling so cold. At this rate, he could even pass through a lava lake, an acid sea, and the river Styx. Dan had to use flame rocks to keep warm, but Larry walked in like nothing had happened. The dragon is not afraid of the cold, and by swallowing this elixir, he can double his strength for 10 minutes. There can only be one winner here, and it's Dan. A dragon appeared out of nowhere. This is a baby. It seems one of the top participants had a dragon. Larry summons the lizard warriors. Of course, they are no match for him, but it is enough to deter him. His defense is definitely at a high level. Larry uses a pet to track down its owner. It took the dragon a little time to recover. His defense is too good, but Dan doesn't have that. Climbing to the 28th floor was the biggest mistake of Larry's life. Dan doesn't care what his hidden profession is. It can't compare to being a dragon rider. Larry appears from behind and asks what about his dragon. In fact, Dan attacked him. The most important thing now is the mission to change profession. Another participant has left the testing tower. It can only be Larry. They will beat him to death. But this is Dan. There's something wrong with his pet. He starts to have diarrhea. Tomorrow, Larry is definitely finished. Judging by the time, there shouldn't be any other participants in the tower except Dan. But on the 28th there is another one, a D-rank healer. Dan left the tower early and is dragon shit himself. Larry uses skin explosion on the ice toad. She's trying to blow herself up. Larry uses Alzheimer's disease. By killing a level 43 ice toad, he received 14,000 experience points. The toad dropped a bead of icy hell. By eating it, you can increase your spiritual strength. This monster explodes when killed, taking the bead with it after the explosion. Low-ranking professionals have no chance of obtaining this bead, meaning it is an unexplored treasure. Another toad about to explode. Larry's guess is correct. To obtain the ice hell bead, you must prevent the toad from self-destructing. Larry will deal with them as soon as possible. As he thought, the sounds of the battle attracted more toads. Larry planted a large amount of the plague virus in those who failed to detonate themselves and died. It's time to use it. Larry was tired of these level 43 monsters after all. Fortunately, the harvest is quite generous. 248 beads of icy hell. The demonized rune has been activated. Here comes the Ice Toad King. Just in time to try out new powers. Larry turned into a toad-like creature. There is already a lot of plague virus around. This boss will die anyway. Larry explodes his skin, but it doesn't cause much harm. This is a new combination that can even hit a boss. It's strong, it even blocked the skin explosion. An exploding crystal appears from his eye again. Then Larry confuses his mind. It hit his eyes. Now he won't be able to use that skill again. Larry killed the Ice Toad King and received 100,000 experience points. A lot of things dropped. Iron, a beaten whip of the Ice King, a skill book Frozen Light. Larry has learned a new ability, the spread of ALS, amyotrophic lateral sclerosis. The Ice King's bead not only increases your spirit, but also grants you a superpower. Larry gained the ability to release adrenaline. While they were looking at the dragon shit, this healer reached the 29th floor. He broke John Mason's record. The healer turned out to be a real dragon. This guy's future is limitless. He had wasted too much time on the ice toads, so he had to do everything in his power to get to the 29th floor. We need to get to the boss urgently. The skin explosion only affected one monster. Larry turns into a bat. 20 minutes left, and still no sign of the alien boss. It looks like a big cemetery. These are alien monsters, which means the boss is also alien. These two bloody servants seem to be elite monsters guarding the boss, and the boss himself is probably in the coffin. Larry forces the blood servants to attack each other. The boss hasn't woken up yet. Larry explodes his skin. Too fast, the boss can't die like this. And indeed, his blood came back together. He starts a sonic attack. This is bad business. Larry activates the adrenaline rush. He is so fast that he can't control himself. The boss releases bloody shadows. Now it's Larry's turn. She starts to rush around the boss. It explodes but is restored. It looks like he can regenerate as long as there is blood. It seems that the bodies of these shadows are made of blood. Then Larry will try out a new skill. It's not the spread of ALS itself, but the blood clotting symptom that accompanies it. Larry tries to apply this skill to the boss. He cut off his hand to stop the spread. I wonder how many more body parts he can cut off. The boss's immortality might not work if Larry sets his blood on fire. He killed the fallen baron and received 158,000 experience points. The adrenaline rush gives a good feeling, but the side effects are very strong. To get a gold skill point, you need to complete special quests and kill strong bosses. The penicillin elf is self-aware and can enhance penicillin defenses and learn the host's skills. Larry will call him Little Greenie. He also received the core and essence of a vampire. Also, here is the skill book First Embrace, Bloody Wings and Vampire's Eye. The first hug is only for vampires and half-vampires. Larry learned a new skill, the T-virus, which turns organisms into zombies. This skill is too scary unless he finds a way to control the T-virus. There are 5 minutes left. You need to complete the mission to change your profession. Mission accomplished. Larry successfully changed his profession to an evil doctor. Life is just a game in his hands, and it is up to him what he will do with it. There are 2 minutes left before the end of the exam. It's hard to believe that the top student of Binhai City High School will become a D-rank healer. According to new information, Larry is a hard-working and diligent student, but Kim has never seen him take his studies seriously. We need to find a way to recruit Larry, no matter the cost. At least 7 families, as well as many students who were infected with the plague, are plotting against Larry. There are still a few fallen. Larry comes from an ordinary family, and if he becomes a target of the fallen, the consequences will be unimaginable. The deputy city guard orders 2 guards to be taken to protect Larry. He's finally coming out. They will kill him. Because of him, they failed the tests. Renee hugs Larry. She kisses him. This is Renee from the Lee family. If Larry is supported by an influential family, that's a completely different story. Kim didn't think Renee was that brave. She did it to protect Larry. He discovers someone on the roof. He is from the Lee family. The head of the family instructed me to tell him that a goose is no friend to a pig. Larry asks what if he insists on this partnership. He has problems, but they don't have to interfere. Suddenly something appears that is clearly going to swallow everyone. It traps Larry, Kim, and the Lee family's scent man in a sphere. It seems that this is a special item that is part of the Dark Fog Lord's power. The deputy city guard asked to catch this guy, but he was caught right under their noses. You need to attack the dark fog with all your might to break through this barrier as quickly as possible. This is the dark fog, the ability of the leader of the fallen, the lord of the dark fog. For the lady's sake, the Lee family's guard will take care of it. Let Larry and Kim go with him to the weak point in the fog. Stella brought the dark fog route specially created by the Overlord. She can't let them go. A gold-level fighter is hardly capable of fighting. Stella invites Larry to join the Night Watch. Fallen is a dirty name used to make them outcasts, but in reality they are saviors. To keep this world alive and to find a new future, they believe in an evil god. Among the members of the Night Watch there is an old man with poisonous abilities. He really liked the ability of poisonous fog, and he would like to take Larry as an apprentice. Even if he doesn't want to join them, he has no choice. Once they captured him, the old man would find ways to bring him to his knees and make him his disciple. If they take Larry for a fool, it's too bad for them. The ghost about to attack him falls. I'll have to do everything myself. The healer does not dare to engage in close combat. Stella attacks Larry. This is what happens when you fight her. Then she sees that she was not attacking Larry, but a ghost. He dared to kill Stella's guard. She will not spare him. This skill has a wide range of applications. If they just run away, they will quickly run out of steam. It looks like a virus, but Stella is far enough away from Larry. The virus is carried by the penicillin elf. Stella doesn't understand why this is happening. She was as confused as Kim. Even though Larry doesn't like this guy sent by the Lee family, the Fallen are the biggest enemy here. The wolf, attacking the guard, suddenly starts to have a stomach ache. It's time for him to go to the toilet. He doesn't dare run away. This is the price he pays for underestimating him. That woman was the strongest among the Fallen Trinity, but she died at the hands of a schoolboy. Moreover, the wolf's behavior was also strange. The security guard asks Larry what his profession is. He's just a healer. The dark fog area dissipates. I can't believe Larry was killed so quickly. However, it turns out that the Fallen have been killed. They are the guardians of the law and are ordered to protect Larry. If it weren't for the Lee family, they would already be dead. Let them not stick their heads out unnecessarily. The Fallen are most active at this time. This Stella is a man of honor in the Night Watch. Guards are professionals who belong to the kingdom of professionals and can be found in almost every city. Maybe that old man was stalking Larry. Only small fry can sneak into Binhan. This old man will never be allowed through. This time their people were attacked. 7 died, 11 were captured, 25 escaped. A team of Fallen attacked Larry. Fortunately, he is alive and all the enemies were destroyed. The deputy security officer thinks that Larry was saved by the guards. But it was Larry who killed the Fallen. He refused to say what happened, and was also accompanied by newcomer Kim Rice and the Lee family security guard. It was established that although the wolf died from the blow of the Lee family guard's axe, it suffered from acute gastroenteritis. The ghost died at the hands of Stella, given his devotion to her. It is likely that her mind was clouded, and she killed the ghost by mistake. They also found the plague virus in her body. Stella is a blood relative of Old Man Doodoo, and now she is killed by Larry. If Old Doodoo dares to come, the deputy guard will kill him. Larry has achieved a lot, and Renee likes him. She already has a marriage contract with a young gentleman from the Island of 9 Snakes. Renee doesn't need anyone but Larry. She does what Casey taught her, strives for her own happiness. The individual exam is about to begin. The competition has 2 rounds. The first is a regular one-on-one fight. The top 16 will advance to the second round, after which the top 4 will be selected. Larry meets Ellie. She wants to invite him to join her in the new dungeon. She will rely on him and praise him, and maybe he will fall in love with her. Or at least they will be more than just friends. Larry refuses. He has already ascended and cannot get into this dungeon. He's gone too far. He dares to pester Dan's fiancée. Ellie's family did not consent to their marriage, but Dan knows that he is the only one worthy of her. Larry better live until the moment when he goes against Dan. Dan will let him taste the pain. First, Dan attacked him without warning in the tower, and now he wants to meet face to face. Larry will destroy him. The first round features D-rank healer Larry Luo and heavy hammer warrior Fred Chen. Because of Larry, Fred had to leave the test tower early. By the time his fog spreads, Fred will have killed him 10 times. However, his stomach starts to hurt. He can't take it anymore. Winner Larry Luo. We need to clear the arena as soon as possible. Larry's next opponent is swordsman Sam Fang. He uses a scroll of resistance to abnormal conditions and pills that neutralize the effects of poison. Dan gave him all this. The scroll seems to be worth a lot of money, and Sam doesn't look like a member of a noble family, so someone must be supplying him. Larry's level is much higher. He again causes acute gastroenteritis in the enemy. Gas masks proved useful. This is a real poison gas bomb. This trick is disgusting and should be banned. Larry has sparked public outrage, with the Dongfan family asking for his skill to be banned. He can defeat even the Fallen, and it's not just a matter of skill. After discussion, it was decided to prohibit Larry from causing acute gastroenteritis. If they don't want it the good way, it will be the bad way. The next opponent is Yan Haran. Dung gave him an elixir of resistance and protective equipment, but he doesn't care whether his pawn dies or survives. Without his disgusting skill, Larry is an ordinary healer. Yang uses a raging flame strike. Larry took cover behind the ice barrier. This is not the end yet. Ian has mastered at least 2 elements. However, Larry remains unharmed. Now it's Sam's turn to defend himself. He suddenly starts to feel a strong itch down there. It's just one of Larry's skills. Sam's whole body itches. It includes a quick freeze. He cooled their bodies to dull the pain and itching. But if this continued, his youngest would freeze. Ian will kill Larry before that happens. But Larry uses his skill again. Yan Haran faints, Larry Luo wins. Today's youth don't know how to control themselves. They do who knows what at such a young age. The only way to save John's life is to remove the body part. After the operation, Ian calls Dan and tells him what happened. Dan will be careful with Larry. The students saw Jan being taken away in an ambulance. No one expected him to be castrated. May wouldn't have been able to hide from Ellie anyway. What May hates most is her arrogant attitude. She will win today. Either May has too high an opinion of herself, or too low an opinion of Ellie. Stop looking down on everyone. Balls of flame hit the protective barrier. Ellie uses the holy light of justice. She wins. The A-rank fire mage couldn't do anything to her. It wasn't a fight. It was a beating of a baby. Still, May will never give in to Ellie. It includes mind control. May asks to give her an order. Ellie tells him to tell her in detail everything that May finds out about Dan. For the next 72 hours, she will be Ellie's faithful follower. The first round is over. The top 4 have been determined. Nobody wants to fight Larry. His method is too cruel and should be banned. Ready to fight Larry is the A-rank forbidden spell mage, Feng Yuan, so he's not afraid. As long as the attack is blocked, he has nothing to fear at a distance of 10 centimeters. He is invincible. Feng uses the Earth Prison skill. It seems to be a control skill. He is so afraid of Larry that he puts up shields and controls him from a distance. Feng is a magician of forbidden spells. He cannot be afraid of a simple healer. His skills are not only fast, but also have tremendous power. He's only level 20 and wants to destroy Larry's defenses. Penicillin Elf gives Feng Alzheimer's. He forgot the spell of the 5 elements. The elf activates the skin explosion. Feng had the advantage, but for some reason he exploded. Larry felt like he had more abilities he could use. Feng won't stop there. Yan fought to the last and ended up losing his friend. Maybe a worse fate awaits Feng. He gives up and accepts defeat. After Feng's defeat, no one dared to fight Larry anymore. Although not as easily as he did. Ellie, Dan, and Jack successfully completed the tests and reached the finals. This is the guy who killed Old Man Duda's niece. The Dongfan family gave Feng great support, but he repaid them with defeat. Larry seems to be around level 30. Maybe he's even completed his second transformation. You'll have to fight him like a boss. Renee tried her best, but still lost. She was great, and Ellie won only because of her profession. That time she came to steal Larry. When she receives the wonder of the world, she must treat everyone to celebrate the event. The teacher appears. She needs to discuss something with Larry. Every year they invite a few students with the best grades to perform for the younger students. Larry will have to do it because he has the best grades this year. Something is wrong here. Larry is not interested and is going to take a rest. Here, from somewhere above, people in robes are jumping. These are the fallen. We need to run. Larry knows it's not really a teacher. He asks what happened to her. If Du Cheng creates a clone of someone, the person's soul and body are destroyed. She screamed so beautifully, but never mind. The old man would send Larry to see her. Larry will kill him. His current strength is not enough. There is an explosion here. Du Cheng actually dared to come to Binhai. Stella was his niece and the granddaughter of Old Man Dudu. It would be good if Du Cheng were here in person. He is just a clone, but he speaks so arrogantly. With proper support from the combat class, Larry will be able to use his skills more effectively. The fight begins. One of the fallen suddenly felt a stomach ache. This is that guy's ability. The scope of its spread is wider than expected. The fallen is transformed. He is an elementalist. They can change their body in such a way that it will not have a digestive system. These Fallen seem to have been specially selected to cope with Larry's skills. Ducheng did everything to deal with him. He turned into a monster. Larry's antics won't work anymore. Kim can't interfere in such a fight. Larry can't dodge. Although the ice shield blocked the attack, the energy from the blow still reached his body. But what Larry showed so far is just the tip of the iceberg. A scalpel appears in his hand. First, he will perform a small test operation. The target loses random body parts and becomes incapacitated. Larry chopped off the wind elemental giant's arm with one blow. Now he will begin the real operation. An accidental deformation and organ transplant was performed. Larry has his first patient. His mouth is now in the back and he has a little difficulty speaking. He feels nothing and cannot move. Although Ducheng sympathizes with him, it is very strange to talk to a butt. As long as the scalpel doesn't touch him, he'll be fine. Now it's his turn. Ducheng summons the Dark Beast. Larry didn't expect to be a summoner. Ducheng is an S-rank wanted criminal. His level is higher than other fallen ones. Since he likes summoning monsters, Larry will help him. Animals and crows begin to fall to the ground. Dogs attack birds. This skill is too cruel. Kim wants to learn it. The beasts don't respond to orders at all, and the worst part is that Ducheng wants to join them. A simple elementalist won't be able to stop a guard. The guard wouldn't have dared to fight him if it weren't for that crappy clone body. A quick victory is impossible. The only way out is to escape. Ducheng tries to escape. Larry had already set off in pursuit. He doesn't know what's in this Ducheng space ring. Once he returns to his real body, he will find a way to crush Larry. Suddenly, Ducheng's stomach felt full, his blood seemed to boil, and his lower body felt a terrible itch. Larry applied his skills to him with double force. He can double the pain, or even quadruple it if the little green one helps him. I wonder what Ducheng will say to this. He exploded. It looks like a pearl of a dark animal. It only drops after the death of the progenitor of dark creatures, and is effective only in the hands of professionals. If it weren't for Larry, the guards would have died. And besides, Deputy Chief Sean Gray would like to meet him and offer him a job as a guard. Larry is too used to freedom and doesn't like restrictions. Kim wants to learn the ability that releases the Dark Beast. The guard actually tried to invite Larry, but he refused. He said he was used to freedom and didn't like restrictions. But it seemed that this was mainly due to the support of Lee's family. But they are in alliance with the Island of Nine Snakes. They couldn't choose Larry. Given Larry's temperament, sooner or later he will come into conflict with the Lee family. The guard's duty is to maintain order in the country. But this runs counter to the interests of influential families. They only think about themselves and will do anything to escape control. They even control the media, spreading negative information about the guards. This led many professionals to believe that the guards were restricting their freedom, without realizing that without them, noble families would oppress the weak, and there would be no order or peace. Larry is more talented than anyone else. They have to get him on their side. You can ask the Venerable Prophet to check your biography. With his power, he can see everything from skills and items to memories of the past. Larry is already against them. If they do this, he will easily become their enemy. Sean can handle it himself. The invasion of foreigners is approaching. Families have risen at the expense of the country, but they only want to fight for power and profit. Sean won't let Larry get involved in this again. As far as he knows, the Fallen created several organizations because they believe in evil gods. The Guardians are one of the most powerful formations against the Fallen. Larry killed Stella and Dushin, but the battle with the guards will never end, although there is no point in looking so far into the future. Now that Ducheng has died, we can safely see what is in the space ring. These are anonymous gold cards issued by the Adventurers Guild, with 1 million gold coins on each card. Without a doubt, these are all very valuable items, and there are many here that Larry has never heard of. This is the Sumeru mask. Its use can be found out by wearing it. It doesn't look like a worthwhile thing. A skill book for second transformation spiritual professions only. It expends psychic energy to bewitch the target. It seems to suit Larry very well. He studied Stockholm Syndrome. The probability of activation is very low. The target becomes obsessed with the owner of the skill. In a past life, it was a rare mental illness in victims of violence that causes attachment to the abuser. Larry hopes this skill will come in handy in tomorrow's game. The 4 strongest professionals will enter the ring in the semi-finals, and the winner will compete for the championship title in the finals. Kim can't find Renee. Larry did not receive any calls or responses to his messages. Kim assumes that she was kidnapped, but she is from the Lee family. Kidnapping her would be like signing your own death warrant. Larry will call Casey, but it's time for him to enter the arena. We'll have to talk about Ren after the game. Healer Larry Luo battles Dragon Rider Deng Dongfan. Dan's dragon looks different. He must have stuffed it with all sorts of things. The Dongfan family spent a lot of money to help Deng win, and all the public attention is focused on Larry. It seems he even has some fans. The guard just received a message from the head of the Li family. They left Binhai and are heading to the deep sea. Many years ago, in the Starry Sea, Irvin Li encountered the master of the Island of Storms, one of the 7 emperors of the deep sea. He took a precious item from the island to change his profession. Irvine used it to enter the epic realm and gained the title of Stormlord. No one knows how many dirty deeds he committed in secret. If he really trusted the country, he would not have fled. The legendary professionals who hold the title of Stormlord are Irvin Li and the Master of Storm Island, and if they want to enter the Stormlord's realm, they must kill and consume each other. Therefore, Irwin will definitely take his daughter with him with her help. He wants to conquer the Island of 9 Snakes. If Renee is taken away, Larry will be furious. The Island of 9 Snakes is not that easy to conquer. Last night, Sean sent a document to the authorities asking that the youngest master of the Island of Snakes, Zach Lane, be chosen as a proxy. The petition was approved. Zach will not have a chance to marry Renee. Larry is worth it, and besides, Sean can't stand it when Irwin bullies his daughter. Apparently the dragon didn't have his fun last time. A little later, Dan will allow him to bite Larry. It seems Dan's dragon has a grudge. Shitting on his master in public was a huge humiliation. Besides, it seems this dragon is a female. This Larry is a really weird guy. The battle begins. An iceberg grows in front of the dragon. Dan suddenly attacks him. His mind must have been controlled, and he mistook the dragon for an enemy. Dan was under the control of Larry's skill. He didn't want to harm the dragon. The seal of the contract with the dragon begins to crack. It doesn't matter if Larry is level 30 and has a new profession. Today Dan will show him what the difference between families means. His items are the best of the best. The stats and durability are extremely high. I wonder what is more powerful, his items or Larry's level. Dan has taken a huge number of antiviral pills and had several STD vaccinations. Larry's cheap tricks won't work on him anymore. Larry dodged. The healer could not be more dexterous. There are a lot of things Dan won't believe. The healer can't be that fast. He must have used a special skill that allows him to get a powerful charge of energy for a short time. There's something wrong with Dan. He suddenly froze in place. Skills related to sexually transmitted diseases do not work on him, but there is no vaccine for the skill of sexual desire. Dan is attracted to the dragon. She is so huge and beautiful. Dan jumps on the dragon. His lump was so hot that he didn't spare his own pet. It's disgusting. The phrase "rid the dragon" has taken on a new meaning. The dragon roars. What an annoying little demon. Dean promises that he won't harm her. Don't be shy, he won't give up so easily. The dragon grabs him. Because of her loyalty, she deliberately controls her power to avoid killing Dan. Jack Lance may be strong, but he is no match for Ellie. Her fight is already over and she is free. It seems her uncle is very keen on Larry's game. There must be some kind of spell working on Dan. The fact that it's so strong shows that he's a playboy. The head of the Stone family will immediately send someone to reject the marriage proposal from the Dongfan family. Today she fell flat on her face. Dan wants to ride a dragon in public. That's really something. I need to write that down soon. They should just admit defeat. This competition is broadcast by all media outlets throughout the country. They will only get rid of the shame if Dan takes first place, and thanks to a media campaign. You can just use the spell, but if you cast it on Larry, he will notice it. And if the deputy guard finds out about it, they will be in big trouble. Moreover, to cast the spell, you need Larry's hair and personal belongings. No one talked about the spell on Larry. Jane uses the spell on Dan to remove the spell from him. But this spell requires some time to prepare. Larry fights the dragon instead of attacking the defenseless Dan. High health, high resistance, and strong attack, and this is just a young dragon. Stockholm Syndrome didn't work. We need to spend a little more time in the battle. If that doesn't work, we'll have to resort to harsh tactics. The dragon hits Dan with its tail. She tries to play with him roughly. His patience has its limits. If he said he would have her today, then so it will be. No one will stop him. Dan actually stabbed the dragon in the ass. Jane's spell begins to take effect. Dan realizes that maybe his dragon is that big beauty. There was a misunderstanding. The dragon flies away. The contract seal was broken and the dragon flew away. Dragons live long enough to protect a family for 1,000 years, and this dragon was highly valued by ancestors. Dan lost. We need to get the dragon back. The people from the Dongfan family left. It seems they decided to give up the wonder of the world. They must want the dragon back, but now it has no owner and anyone can take it. Sean orders all guards to find the dragon. Selena came here to sort things out, but she didn't expect to be given such an opportunity. If she gets the dragon crystal, she will be able to reach a higher level. It's all because of Larry. He didn't borrow money from him, so it's unclear why Dan is yelling so loudly. He will kill Larry. Dan defiled the dragon, not to mention pierced her butt. It activates Golden Thunder. His most powerful blow was blocked by the healer. Larry wanted to play with him longer, but he was in a hurry. So we need to end this quickly. Dan thought he was going to do something incredible, but he was going to use the scalpel as a weapon, probably wanting to make Dan laugh to death. Let him laugh. Soon he will forget how to laugh. He grows female breasts. Larry sees this effect for the first time: random gender reassignment to male, female, unisex, intersex, and changes in sexual preferences. The body structure of men and women is very different. It's obvious that Dan is not used to it yet. And by the way, he should also like menstruation. Deng Dongfan lost consciousness. Larry Luo won. His next opponent is Ellie Stone. She can't fight. Casey sent a message asking to meet. She seems worried. She must have information about Renee's whereabouts. Ellie Stone submitted. Larry Luo won the final battle. The chance of winning was 50%, but they had already seen the effects of Larry's skills. Even if they win, the family's reputation will be at rock bottom. Ellie's reputation is more valuable than a damaged wonder of the world. What's more important is that it's better to be Larry's friend than to make him an enemy. The official awards ceremony begins, and the winner, Larry Luo, is invited to give a speech. He had urgent matters to attend to, so he asked to accept the reward for him. He might have been worried about Ren, but the guy was his best friend, so an exception could be made. Renee's father had urgent business, so he took her with him to the Island of Nine Snakes. They will return in 2 months or a little later. The Island of Nine Snakes is located in a starry sea where phone signals are difficult to transmit. So Renee left a letter for Larry. Her father treats her like a 3-year-old child. Renee wrote that she couldn't avoid going to the Island of Nine Snakes, but in 2 months she would be entering the Imperial University, and they would see each other there. Larry asks Casey to tell the truth about whether Renee is in trouble. Casey can't say anything else, and now she needs to go. Larry is still very weak. There are some things he is better off not knowing. In that case, they have nothing more to talk about. Casey hopes he will take care of her. He remembers that there is an extremely powerful force on the Island of Nine Snakes, and it is located in the Star Sea, which is very far away. There seems to be some movement in the storage area. Suddenly, Sumeru's mask appeared. Larry didn't even touch it. People living near Binhai City must go to Pale Canyon immediately. The dragon has been found. Help is needed. In fact, this mask is a means of communication, so it must be harmless. This is a mask that symbolizes belonging to the Night Watch by wearing it. One can communicate with the Night Watch and gain access to special permissions. This mask can also teleport. Dan's wounds have healed, but the problem lies in the psychological trauma. Judging by his physiological characteristics, he has turned into a woman in order to continue his family line. He will have to have a foreign genital organ transplanted. This cannot be considered the blood of the Dongfan family. She needs to find a young man from an aristocratic family who would marry her. Despite her special situation, there will always be someone who will like it. He is Dung Dongfan, an S-rank dragon rider. He will never marry even if he has to die. The head of the Dongfan family does not intend to punish Dung for the loss of the dragon, and this is even too lenient. This dragon was raised by the whole family. They will be counting on Dan to make a profitable marriage in the future. He is a man, he does not want to get married. The dragon's location has been discovered. It's in Pale Canyon. We need to get him back, no matter the cost. Dan can't just wait for the dragon to accept him as its master again. There's a chance that everything can be turned back. A Class B mask must belong to an elder of at least the Golden Realm. They captured the dragon that had flown away from Binhai City, but they were attacked by guards. The battle is in full swing. They found this dragon first, so it should be theirs. 5 years ago they were equals, but now Jim is useless trash. After all, it is his status as a guard that holds him back. He could join the Night Watch and forget about all this nonsense, protecting the weak and maintaining order. With his talent, he would definitely succeed. Strength is important, but without a purpose, you are just a corpse. Then Jim can die along with his so-called target. An arrow flies towards Selena, but she dodges it. The Fallen One doesn't dare to lay a finger on the Dongfan family dragon. It has no owner, so it will belong to whoever first grabbed it. No matter how many more trash attacks Selena, she will destroy them all. She and Ducheng are both elders. Selena is really strong. It's best to wait and see what happens. There is also someone who takes advantage of this situation. This guy looks familiar. This is Dan. While everyone is busy fighting, no one will pay attention to the dragon. Dan wants to sign a new contract. The dragon roars. She thinks they want to pierce her again. An ant like Dan doesn't dare touch the dragon. Selena shoots fire at him. She incinerated him. It was the dragon's master. Even if the contract was broken, She was still tied to the master. Now that he was killed in front of her eyes, she would fall into despair. There's no need to worry about Selena. All this trash is no match for her. The dragon is more important. If they kill Selena, there will be no need to fear the rest. The battle is getting more intense. They may need help. This dragon is very strong. It is difficult for them to suppress it. Larry uses his skill. The fallen begin to attack each other. The dragon is freed. Larry doesn't dare stand in Selena's way. His speed is good, but not enough. She'll deal with him after she's done with B-72. It's strange why the members of the Night Watch suddenly started fighting each other. And this B-72, his movements seem familiar. This is Dushan's number, and he died at the hands of Larry. So, he got his mask. He is more important than the dragon. No matter what the cost, he must save B-72. First Selena will kill them and then crush him. She attacks the guards and is about to kill Dan's father, but something stops her. She will come back. The ancestor of the Dongfan family appears. Dan's death was passed on to him through his blood. The woman who just ran away seems to be the killer. They must not let her go. This is the ancestor of the Dongfan family, the epic realm professional Lao Dongfan. He will bring Selena's head, but her body will need to be taken. It will be very useful. There is still one fallen member of the Night Watch left here. We need to deal with him. He is an undercover agent. This was organized by the guards. Getting a Class B mask is not easy. The guards are not required to report their actions to Dan's father. There are plenty of fallen from the Night's Watch here who are keeping an eye on Larry, and he risks getting caught up in their business. It could be a trap. He should be severely punished. Here the dragon appears. It looks like she came to see Larry. Dan's father gave him a resurrection item a few years ago, but there are no signs of resurrection. He is definitely dead. Bad news. Dan committed suicide and couldn't be found at the resurrection point. So, he killed himself in order to be reborn and get rid of the ability his father gave him. The dragon is very dangerous without an owner, and he still holds a grudge against Larry. It doesn't seem like she has bad intentions. Larry has a vague feeling that some kind of connection has been established between them. It looks like Stockholm Syndrome has activated, but it will take some time for it to take effect. We need to find a way to sign a contract with the dragon right now. If Larry doesn't have the item to sign the contract with, Jim will give it to him. Jim has a contract with the River Styx, which he received after fighting the boss. Jim is too lucky. The contract was successfully concluded. This is only a young dragon of level 22, and its attribute panel surpasses that of a boss of level 40 or even 50. There are no more than 10 professionals in the world who can contract with dragons, and in order to deal with Larry, the Dongfan family stuffed the dragon with a bunch of elixirs, so it is normal that the attribute values are high. From now on, the dragon will be called Crimson. First, they will fly 2 circles. Once the Dongfan family finds out that the dragon is in Larry's hands, they will do everything possible to get it back. Larry is not a dragon rider. He does not have a special place for a dragon. Therefore, it is necessary to take him to the base in the Black Steel Mountains, which is remote and spacious enough for the dragon to stay there temporarily. Dan is killed and they still haven't avenged him. At least the ancestor saved his father. He will make every effort to preserve their lineage. The ancestor doesn't need to worry about continuing the family line. He can still do everything himself. If they manage to capture the dragon, there is a high chance that they will be able to tame it again. Lao will ask someone to use Dan's corpse to activate the secret search method. If Elder Dark Mist hadn't stopped Lao, Selena would have been dead by now. Dark Mist wants her to repay him now. There aren't many people in this world who can reject him. Selena needs to become his representative among the Night Watch. She must go outside the territory and help him get something. She will know what it is when she gets there. Larry is finally back. On the way, he accidentally met Kim and took his prize. At last, he became acquainted with the wonder of the world. This creature, born from the merging of worlds, contains the world within itself and can grow, and it is also capable of swallowing rifts in time and space. This thing, the penicillin elf should be careful not to let him eat him. Sean knocks on the door and has something to discuss. If the heads of the aristocratic families found out that Larry was playing with the wonder of the world in this way, they would be furious. Sean came here to invite him to join them, but Larry had already made it clear that he didn't want to become a guard. That's why Sean came to him personally in the hope that he would become their honored guest, and not a full member. There are many professionals who, like Larry, do not want to be bound by the rules, for whom the guards have created a special position, the guest of honor. These are freelance employees who are not required to work like others, and who still receive a salary, and benefits. One could say that they are completely free, except for rare special missions. Sean has spotted Larry's potential and is willing to bet on his future if he agrees. He will be able to lead other guards. If he still isn't satisfied with this, Sean can only give up. Larry agrees. This is his token and badge. The owner of this token can control all guards below the Golden Realm in Binhai City, and this is a hibernation icon that can house pets. Larry asks to explain to him the properties of the wonder of the world. With the help of this creature, epic professionals enter the legendary realm. It is not surprising that influential families fought for the wonder of the world. It was originally inappropriate to give this item as an exam reward, but special circumstances arose, and epic masters from different families joined forces to retrieve this item from the deep-sea aliens. Although it was damaged in the battle and lost its power, there is still a chance to restore it. The noble families were full of confidence that they would definitely receive it. But this wonder of the world is broken, and it seems that it can only be restored with the help of the rift in time and space mentioned in the description. One of the things that can be absorbed by a wonder of the world is the heart of the territory. It can often be found in a place where a large number of monsters gather, and it is guarded by a boss. Normal monsters cannot possess it. Only monsters with a certain level of wisdom and even culture. If Larry wants to find such a place where monsters gather, then he can usually find it in 3 places in space, in a dungeon, and in the Star Sea. All 3 places are very dangerous, and the alien monsters are far more dangerous than the puny monsters in the wild. Sean asks if Larry has decided which university he will attend. Larry hasn't thought about it yet. Sean advises him to go to the Imperial University. There are many interesting people there. The young master of the Island of 9 Snakes will also study there. Larry's girlfriend was taken to this island, and he doesn't know why. There's no point in calling her a friend. Everyone in Binhai already knows they're a couple, and there are guards on 9 Snake Island too, so she'll be fine. Larry agreed, and Sean noticed something strange. That little creature next to Larry looks like an elemental elf. This guy has a lot of secrets. The same coat and shoes as this year's best student, Larry Luo, are now on sale. Larry's pillow brings good luck, and the same shower gel and shampoo as Larry are available for sale. He seems to be a celebrity. Larry is besieged by girls asking for autographs and skills. One of them asks if he has a girlfriend. She really likes him. She even has a tattoo of him on her belly button. Another heard that Larry can help with breast enlargement. He needs to go. There are so many wild rumors around. Larry is already level 40. The Crimson Fury staff is good, but it's a weapon for beginners, and it's hard to find good items on online platforms, so he decided to go shopping. He was spotted again. Those who believe in Larry will gain eternal life. Even the most devoted fans should know their limits. Larry has a meeting with Ellie, and anyone who dares to interrupt it should think carefully about the consequences. This is Ellie Stone. No one dares stop her. The fans are leaving. Ellie asks why Larry is shopping alone. Larry says he needs to upgrade his gun, and it's hard to buy anything good online. Ellie can recommend a great place. This is the best professional shop in Binhai. It is owned by Ellie's family. She will give Larry a discount. But the items that are suitable for the second transformation are mostly of very low quality, and Larry doesn't see any gold level here. Usually, if Larry joins Ellie's family, he will be able to choose any gold level items. Larry says that he is used to being alone and does not want to limit himself. In the future, he should count on the support of the Lee family. But it's a pity that everything won't go so smoothly. It seems like Ellie knows something. In fact, she and Renee are good friends. She was forcibly taken to the Island of 9 Snakes to marry the young owner of the island. It seems Larry really doesn't know. Ellie spent a lot of effort to find out. The reason for the marriage is simple. Renee's father wanted to use the Island of 9 Snakes to rise higher. The same benefit is for the owner of the island. But luckily, someone helped him. Sending Zach Lane to the Imperial University became the reason why the wedding was postponed. Elder Sean Gray did more for Larry than he thought. Ellie gave herself up voluntarily in the finale, and now shares secret information with him, which should be enough to make her his friend. There is nothing wrong with him being on good terms with her. Since they are friends, they must help each other. Ellie asks Uncle Lou to get the item. This epic weapon, a magical staff, allows you to remove an abnormal condition and restore a certain amount of spiritual strength, and controls dead bodies that will fight on the owner's side. Ellie took it from the family treasury. It is forbidden to sell it, but of course, an exception can be made for her friends. Larry doesn't have enough money to buy this weapon, but he will make up the rest by buying other items and materials. Larry sold the unused materials and items from the space ring, and bought the staff for the friendly price of 800,000 gold coins. With the remaining money, he bought many items and supplies. After saying goodbye to Ellie, Larry headed to the Black Steel Mountain. To restore the wonder of the world, they need to find the heart of the territory. And the most suitable place for this is outside the kingdom.